Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I am going to be sharing another round of in-depth post-burn reviews for the Kringle Candle Spellbound and Boo Crew collections today. So if you are interested in these post-burn reviews, obviously make sure you are subscribed if you're not already. This particular collection is launching later on this week on August 15th at noon Eastern, which makes it 9 a.m. Pacific time. If you're interested in purchasing from either the Spellbound or Boo Crew collections, I'll have Kringle Candle linked at the very top of the description box here. You can use my discount code Melanie15 to save yourself 15% off at checkout. Or if you happen to have some Kringle Candle rewards, you can apply those to your purchase as well. So whatever saves you the most money, I say do that. Anyway, let's go ahead and dig into this first candle here today. I mentioned this in one of my Spellbound candle reviews yesterday, and I'm going to go ahead and mention it at the beginning of all of these Spellbound collection reviews because not everybody watches every single video, obviously. But Kringle Candle did make an adjustment to the price point of the Spellbound collection candles, so I'm just going to update you on that really quickly here. So the price point was originally $30 for these 16-ounce 2-wick tumblers. They do come with a lid, by the way. The lid is just a plain silver lid. So Kringle listened to some initial feedback about the Spellbound collection, and they went ahead and decided to lower the price point down to $25 for the launch. So I do appreciate them doing that. So there's a little bit of extra information for you about the price point at launch there. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the into this candle here. So let's discuss Healing Light. All of the Spellbound collection candles do come with different crystals embedded into the wax when you first receive your candles. I have personally chosen to pluck all of the crystals out of the wax, and I cleaned mine up and I stick them into a little bud vase jar that I have in my office. I just have kind of made it a habit of collecting these crystals since they were featured in the Spellbound collection for the last couple of years here. So anyway, it's kind of fun to collect them, but you are definitely more than welcome to leave the crystals embedded in the wax. It's not going to affect the burn at all, but as you develop that wax pool, obviously those crystals are going to sink into the wax pool and then just continue to go down as the wax dissipates until, you know, all of the wax is obviously gone. So you don't have to take the crystals out. I just chose to do that myself because I like to save them, but you can certainly leave them in there. So these 16-ounce 2-wick jars are just a really plain tumbler design. I did mention this in the other review that I did, but I'm going to go ahead and do it in this video as well. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so that you can see the label here. But you can see that the label has some areas where it looks like there is some paint or something missing. These particular labels are painted onto the jar, but that's actually really purposeful, I think, in terms of the artistic choice here. The label is supposed to look a little bit worn. So when you get your candles and you notice that, just know that that is actually done on purpose. I think there was a little bit confusion at first, whether there was some mistake in the printing, but it is meant to look just kind of like a well-worn label, if you will. So all of the candles have a front label as well as a back label. The back labels all have different chants featured on them. So I have been reading through the chants, so I'll go ahead and read through the Healing Light one. This one says, from root to crown, I mend and glow with healing light, let wellness flow. Let pain release, let calm remain, with every breath dissolve the strain. By flame and scent, my soul is whole, renewed in spirit, heart, and soul. So anyway, that is the chant on the back of Healing Light. Let's go ahead and turn her around here, and let me zoom out, and let's discuss the fragrance itself, which I have to admit, I think I actually like the fragrance a little bit better prior to lighting this one. I don't love this, and you'll see why here in a minute if you regularly follow my home fragrance reviews. All right, so the top notes are bergamot and tea leaves. No issues there, by the way. The mid notes, we have eucalyptus and white mint. And then at the base, we have aloe and musk. So my main problem here are those mid notes. I tend to be very sensitive to eucalyptus. I don't love it. And I also don't love mint. I do like a nice sweet mint. So for example, Kringle Reserve's Minty Melon. To me, that is mint done right. Like, I really like that particular minty scent. But the mint that's here is, I feel like, a much stronger spearmint. It's definitely not a sweet mint. And I tell you what, I get so much eucalyptus from this particular fragrance. I've honestly struggled a little bit with burning it, and I don't know that I am personally going to be burning much more of this one. I think this is one of those candles that I will be passing along to a friend. So it'll find a good home, don't worry. But yeah, this is so much eucalyptus to my nose. But let's go back to the top. Do I smell bergamot in here? I do. It's really nice. It's fresh. It's a little perfumey, but also just mostly a nice, fresh, clean bergamot. I do smell a little bit of a, I would say, black tea reference as well. It's not super potent, but there is a black tea note. There's a ton of eucalyptus here, and there's a ton of mint. I feel like I've already said that, but let me just stress that there's a lot of eucalyptus. If you love euc, you are gonna be in hog heaven here, I tell you what. The base notes of aloe and musk. I do think that I see a little bit of a reference to aloe, but it's definitely getting lost with those mid notes of eucalyptus and mint for sure. And the musk, I don't know. This doesn't really smell like a musky fragrance to my nose. It's certainly quite fresh, but it's just not to my liking, which is fine. Listen, not everything is designed for my nose. There's a lot of people out there that do love a fresh, vibrant, fresh eucalyptus. If you're one of those people, I think this is going to be your fragrance. This definitely is something that I could see being a great fragrance in like a kitchen or a bathroom type setting. It is certainly going to clean the air a little bit, if you will. Very fresh, very kind of almost crisp. I wouldn't think of this as a Halloween fragrance, however, so I don't know. I mean, but also the Spellbound collection, you know, it's a little bit more funky, it's a little bit more different, but this is definitely not my favorite. There's a couple of fragrances in this collection that were just kind of like to my nose, and this is definitely one of those for me. If you are interested in this one, however, I can tell you that the strength and throw is pretty solid. I am getting almost an 8 in terms of strength from this one, and probably about the same in terms of throw. Eucalyptus tends to be pretty potent anyway, and in here it's potent. You're gonna get a good strength, you're gonna get a good throw. The burn overall has also been really nice and clean. These particular wicks are going to form some carbon balls or mushroom tops, and you'll definitely trim those with each burn, but do not trim your wicks prior to your first burn. The wicks might look kind of long compared to some other candle companies. Leave them, just light them, don't trim them. And then with your subsequent burns, just kind of get rid of those carbon balls or mushroom tops at the top, and then just light your candle. Beautiful clean burn on these. I know people are not excited about these jars. That's totally fine. I don't mind them. Are they my favorite? No, but they certainly get the job done. You do have a slightly wider opening than the regular Kringle candle jars. In fact, I have one here. Let me show you. This is the, gosh, this one smells so good. This is the Vancouver Cabin. So let me give you guys an overhead shot so you can see the comparison in terms of the opening. Sorry about that. So it's not much, well, this isn't really working out the way that I thought it would. Hold on, let me move it off the pedestal. So you can see just a ever so slightly wider, I don't know why, the scale looks totally off, but the opening is just a little wider than this one. Yeah, so I don't know. Obviously not the prettiest jars around, and you know, I don't think they're gonna be doing a whole lot more with these, which is totally fine. I wasn't attached to them, but I also don't think they're the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this particular fragrance from the Spellbound collection. Clearly, Healing Light was not really for me, but that's okay. If you are a fan of eucalyptus, if you're a fan of mint, I think you're really gonna enjoy this one, so have at it. Again, I'll have it linked in the description box. Let me know your thoughts about this one and whether you're planning on picking it up. I appreciate you guys being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.